So what monster lurked beneath the Opel GT's racy-looking skin? Nothing close to a monster, really. But we'll show you what it did have when Auto Week returns. At first glance, our next Escape Roads car looks like what might happen if you passed a 1970s-era Corvette through a car wash and it shrunk. The Corvette Opel GT tie-in is not surprising, considering the Opel's heritage. The GT was created by a GM designer who worked at General Motors' German subsidiary, Adam Opel AG. The Opel GT was introduced in late 1968 as a 1969 model and built to be a comfortable two-seat GT coupe with plenty of amenities, and not as an all-out sports car. The GT started with a sleek, aerodynamically designed front end that trailed into swelling front fender flares and a rakish V-pillar. The rear was even finished with a deck lid, topped by a race car-like fuel filler cap. Like the Corvette, the Opel GT came equipped with concealed headlights and fenders that stood high above the hood and added to the little car's sporting image. The Opel GT even shared the Corvette's annoying feature of not having a real trunk. Behind the wheel, the GT's instrumentation was all housed neatly in front of the driver and easy to read at a glance. Although the GT shared several visual characteristics with the Corvette, underneath its stylish skin it was pure Opel, with most of the mechanics borrowed from the line's more mundane little sedans. Two four-cylinder engines were used in the GT's 5-year lifespan. First was a puny 1.1-liter engine, followed by a 1.9-liter power plant that made 90 horsepower by the time it complied with U.S. emissions. The GT was built on a wheelbase of just 96 inches, exactly the same as found on all Opel models. Overall, it was only a couple of inches shorter, narrower, and lower than the standard sedan. The GT's suspension was also quite conventional. In the front, the Opel used double A-frames, a transverse leaf spring, and tube shocks. The rear used a live axle. The steering was rack and pinion, and the GT used disc brakes in front and drums in the rear. Early road tests revealed that the GT handled much like an Opel Kadett. Not surprising, since it was essentially an Opel sedan with a sexy body. As a tribute to good aerodynamics, the GT could be pushed to 115 miles per hour, drawing some attention from sports car enthusiasts. But the car was never a huge success because so much competition came from true sports cars, such as the Datsun 240Z and the MG. Production and sales of the car in the US and Europe were good. The GT was affordably priced at around $3,500. Contrary to popular belief, the Opel GT was not killed because of poor build quality or sagging sales. In fact, the GT's last year was actually its best year, but troubles with the body's supplier eventually spelled doom for the GT. Although the Opel GT has never gained extreme collector status, the car has remained popular based on its sporty styling. And because, just like when it was introduced, you can enjoy a tiny bit of the Corvette mystique for a fraction of the price.